So you're thinking about moving to Boulder, and you've heard all about it. The stunning mountain views, the incredible access to outdoor activities, all the world-class dining, the bars, the restaurants, all the amenities. You've heard all of that, but you've probably heard it's not cheap. So we're gonna break down today how expensive is Boulder, and is it worth it? We're gonna go into everything in this video, from utility costs to rental costs, housing costs, purchase prices. I'm Michael with Lovato Properties, and if you're thinking about moving to Boulder, let's dive right in to those costs. So the biggest expense is going to be housing. And of course, we're talking buying or renting homes here in Boulder. So in Boulder proper, we have a very competitive and fast-paced market. Even in slower, more balanced times, you have to be ready to pounce and you have to know these numbers. Starting at the top, compared to the national average, our median home prices are well above those that you'll see in other places, even the desirable places. And what I mean is, the most recent stat, the median home price for just listed homes is just over $2 million. Now that of course samples in just what was listed. Typically though, our median home price is above 1.2 million for a single family. Now what does that mean? If you really look at these numbers, well, if you're trying to get a home that is a single family in Boulder proper, you're going to be looking at spending on the low end $900,000 and really on the high end up to $4-5 million. Yes, you can find great homes in between those ranges, but expect to see those price tags for Boulder real estate. So renting here in Boulder, very pricey, although we haven't seen that major appreciation. The values have stayed a little bit lower for some odd reason, but it's hard to find properties to rent here in Boulder. If you're looking for a one bedroom, I would expect to spend around $2,000. If you want a two bedroom, of course that comes up to about $3,000, say $1,500 a room. And then a single family home, I would expect to pay between $4,000 and $6,000 a month for a decent 3 to 4 bedroom home. Those prices can come up, but again, housing, it's going to be one of your biggest costs here in Boulder proper. With regard to those prices, one of the main reasons that we see those prices come up is because we have pretty strict rules on building. We have a growth cap. You're not allowed to build more than 3%, grow more than 3% in our community annually. So that prevents new builds from popping up all the time. We have a low supply and a continually high demand, so that keeps our prices pretty high here in Boulder. So that covers housing, but what about utilities? Well, these costs can be a little bit higher here as well. I think if you look at the averages that you search online, you'll see that maybe it's between $80 and $250 a month for your gas and electric. I've seen those actually higher, often $300 and above for a single family home. When you look at trash, well, that's another thing. Billed quarterly, I think you're looking at about $135 a month for your trash, recycling, and compost. The great thing is we do compost here, very eco-friendly in Boulder Valley and Boulder proper. What about the internet? Well, internet, there's actually deals to be had. I think there's some competition amongst the big providers, but you should still expect, unless you're getting a great deal, to spend between $80 and $120 a month for your internet options. And then if we talk about the grocery bill, well, the grocery bill is pretty big here in town. Part of that is because we have awesome options for organics. Well, I should say you have that competition, but those prices are still high. Whole Foods, Sprouts, you've also got Trader Joe's. Well, what does it cost? I'm a family of 4, and I can tell you that every week I'm spending $300 every time, but usually it's more because we'll make other visits. So that's $1,200 to $1,400 a month for a family of 4. I feel like that's pretty high. As you look at other options though, what if you're a couple? I would still expect between $200 and $500 for your grocery bill for a couple or a single person. So that's a lot of money you got to budget for. And then if we keep going, let's talk about restaurants. What does it cost to go out and have a meal? Well, a casual meal is going to run you about $15 to $25 a person. One person casual meal, maybe sit down and enjoy yourself. And the high end, you'll probably start for an individual at $70, but really that price goes up to $300 for a meal out. Okay, so the pro tip is to look for happy hour or the daily specials. My favorite daily special is at Pica's. It's Taco Tuesdays. You can get 2 tacos, beans and rice for $9, and that changes every week, or the individual taco for $4. And then guess what else? They have margaritas, and the daily special is on Tuesday. So one of the perks about living in Boulder is that for much of the year, the weather's nice enough that you can save on transportation costs because it is warm enough to ride or walk most places, and we're set up for that. Bike lanes almost everywhere, and that helps. But on the other side of that, people will come here and say, well, I'm spending more on Uber because I don't really have a great bus or subway or train system. And that is somewhat true. We do have good buses that run around Boulder, and we also have the RTD that'll zip you up to Eldora for skiing, and it'll zip you out to the airport. RTD, they do a great service. But here in town, if you're looking to get around, you may find limited options there if you're used to big city living. We do, of course, like a lot of towns, have those e-bikes, and Boulder B-Cycle is out there, so you can ride that. If you're a buff going to CU, you can ride it for free. But those options are there. So transportation, it's kind of one of those high costs, low cost sort of situations. So what about recreation and lifestyle? Well, there's a mixed bag here. So a great example is if you just want to go skiing throughout the winter, super close, you can get up to Eldora, and the cost there of a season pass, pretty reasonable relative to some of the big mountains. So that's a big bonus. Also, what about the gym life? Well, the cool thing here is you're in Boulder, and that means lots of competition. There's options everywhere. So you can literally go and get a $20 a month membership for unlimited workouts at a place like Crunch or even 24-hour fitness, or you can go to the other end of the extreme. We're getting a brand new Lifetime Fitness Club at 29th Street Mall. That club is gonna be over $200 a month for membership, but it's beautiful. And then there's stuff right in the middle. We've also got F45, we've got Orange Theory. Those have pretty reasonable membership costs. I think that competition really helps us all out because we all like to lift weights, we all like to get active and be healthy here in town. Not all of us, but most of us. And then you've also got yoga options everywhere. And I think, again, that keeps those costs down. And then what about one little pro tip? Well, check out Mecca. It's a small format gym where you can get a hard workout, get really kind of sore abs, if you know what I mean. And it's a great cost, great community vibe there at Mecca. So talking about recreation, I have to mention also the City of Boulder rec centers. We have 3 great facilities here, North, East, and South Boulder rec centers, and those offer great affordable access for full family memberships or individuals. And you've got pool, gym, basketball courts, all the stuff. So City of Boulder really got it going on for the city rec centers. So is Boulder worth the cost? For most folks, the answer is absolutely yes. But you have to be prepared for those higher housing costs and also the daily cost of living just being a bit higher. If you're looking to move to Boulder and you'd like some more help, I'm Michael with Lovato Properties. Reach out, I'd love to help you.